I'm going to survive the next 100 days, stranded in a backyard that plays by its own rules and hunted by creatures far larger than I ever imagined. To escape, I'll need to think on my feet, face off against gruesome monstrosities, uncover the secrets buried beneath, and take on the fight of my life. After a shocking announcement that more teenagers had gone missing, I found myself heavily sedated and being transported inside a suitcase. Alrighty, here we go. Max is out of the bag. Alright, here we go. What happened? And where am I? We will soon find out. Thinking ahead, I started gathering whatever resources I could find, knowing they'd come in handy soon enough. Let me grab that. Mushrooms. I think we will be needing some mushrooms. Before long, I followed a strange signal that led me to a nearby field station, equipped with a few gadgets, research notes, and thankfully, some snacks. Come in handy. What is a safety test? Okay, power fluctuations are within an acceptable range. I was prompted to use the resource analyzer, which revealed several new crafting recipes and granted me that sweet dose of raw science. Venturing out again, I figured it was time to craft a few tools to make survival a little easier. The problem was I needed crude rope. Having a hunch, I analyzed some plant fibers I'd collected. Do you have plant fibers? Maybe that will help if I go and analyze things here. There you go. Alright. Ah, there we go. With some gear equipped, I continued exploring and soon stumbled upon a mysterious machine. Naturally, I tried to power it up. Target. Push it on. There we go. Activate. No! But it seemed one of its lasers was blocked by tall grass. I cleared that up without much trouble. The other laser, however, wasn't as simple. Something more sinister was interfering with it. Deciding to hold off that mystery for now, I spent the rest of the day collecting and analyzing more resources. It turned out to be worthwhile, as I eventually unlocked the lean-to and managed to craft it. I began the day searching for a clean source of water and snacked on mushrooms I had gathered earlier. Let's get some water. Get here. There we go. We'll have some food. After that, I set out to collect sap and grass planks, making sure to analyze them to uncover new building recipes. Once that was done, I turned my attention to something more important, setting up a makeshift base for myself. So, I placed down my workbench and began laying out the blueprints for my shelter. Along the way, I managed to craft a full set of clover armor, put up some walls, added storage, a neat little door, and a roasting spit to complete my setup. On day 3, I set out to uncover the cause behind the second laser. Along the way, I took some time to observe a few nearby creatures, studying their behavior for future encounters. I didn't find any clues at the machine itself, so I decided to investigate further and follow the laser's path to its source. It wasn't long before I discovered the problem. Tiny mites were gnawing at the cables. Okay, these are the little shish kebabs that are frying our cable here. Come on, but wait, I need to peep them, huh? Wait, X and then there you go. Making my way through the tunnel, I managed to wipe out the mites and restore the signal's strength. Oh, is it done? Back at the mysterious machine, I wasted no time powering it up again. Unfortunately, that decision triggered a massive chain reaction that ended with an explosion at the oak tree. Oh. What's happening? Oi! Oh my soul. That's the oak tree, right? Seeing how far the tree was, I decided to leave the mystery for another day and instead took down an ant. There you go. That earned me the recipe for a brand new armor set. I guess it was time to investigate that explosion. So, during the early hours of the morning, I made my way toward the oak tree. The journey was nerve-wracking, as I wasn't sure what to expect. but I did come across some useful materials. For example, these acorns, there we go, and those juicy little grubs that I had to dig up. Once I was done gathering resources, I finally reached the area of the explosion and discovered a hidden lab beneath the oak tree. Inside, I found a resource analyzer and used it to study the new materials I'd collected. I also met a quirky robot named BURG.L. His memory had been wiped by the explosion, but he explained that I could help restore it by recovering super chips hidden in labs scattered around the backyard. After our chat, I activated the ASL network, gaining access to the raw science shop and a list of daily quests to earn even more raw science. After spending the night at the oak tree, I set my sights on improving my gear before taking on the next lab. I started by collecting algae from the nearby pond, followed by some acorn parts, and, of course, a few juicy grubs. Appreciate it. While exploring, I noticed a strange contraption nearby and went in for a closer look. It turned out to be one of BURG.L's flags. I also managed to find some much needed thistle needles. Thistle needles. That's what we need. Awesome. Back at base, I went ahead to craft what I could. A few arrows and new pieces of acorn armor for that added protection. By day 6, I started working on the upgrades to my weapons. First on the list was to collect gnat fuzz. I did manage to get a few, though it wasn't enough to craft the bow. Sorry, buddy. I need one more. We can get our sprig bow. Yeah, that's what it is. I then moved on to dealing with some red soldier ants. These were a bit of a challenge. Woo-wee. No! Little buddy, that's supposed to come after me. Eventually, I managed to take down 2 of the red soldiers and was able to craft the red ant club. Have a nice night, buddy! Acid lands. Ooh. Equipped with everything I needed, I set out toward the hedge area, determined to locate the lab. Along the way, I encountered a few critters that tried to block my path, but I didn't let them deter me from my mission and took them out swiftly. Ayyoooo! Come on! Shortly after, I reached the hedge ascent, marking the start of the long climb toward the lab. Before moving any further, I noticed a few berries hanging from the branches and decided to knock them down to harvest the chunks needed for my acorn chest piece. Ah, there we go, nice. With that taken care of, I began the climb toward the hedge lab, carefully following the cables that wound through the canopy. Deeper in, I came across several abandoned structures occupied by hostile robots. It was clear they weren't interested in talking. Ooh! Holy smokes, you got me. Further exploration led me to a milk molar, a fragment of a password note, and even more aggressive robots, all of which met the full force of my new Red Ants Club. My turn. Good night. Good night. Good riddance too. I eventually made my way to the hedge lab itself. There, I powered up the system and started mashing a few keys, hoping to uncover some information. Unfortunately, I couldn't gain access without a password. Determined to figure it out, I set off to explore the rest of the lab in search of the missing pieces. After finding all the fragments, I returned to the terminal, logged into the system, and gained access to the room where BURG.L's superchip was stored. Hey, buddy! With the hedge lab cleared, it was time to head back to BURG.L at the oak tree lab. After a long trip across the backyard, I finally made it to the lab in one piece. I went ahead and installed the duper disk to see what it was all about. Turns out, it allowed me to clone any of my items in exchange for raw science. So, we can dupe things, 500. Alright. Once that was done, I handed over the superchip to BURG.L, who mentioned that more superchips were scattered across the backyard and that new recipes had been unlocked at the ASL shop. While checking the ASL network, I used the milk molar I had found to boost my healing ability and purchased a few useful upgrades from the raw science shop. However, that night during my beauty nap, I experienced something strange. What it meant, however, was still a mystery I had yet to uncover. Before taking on the next lab, I decided to focus on some upgrades. While I was at it, I gathered a few grubs to craft smoothies, harvested acorns, grabbed lily pad wax, and topped up on algae from the pond. The next morning, I set up a small outpost near the pond since I still needed a few more materials. Once everything was ready, I dove straight into the pond to collect some eelgrass and whipped up a gill tube to increase my time underwater. With that done, I began hunting water boatmen for their fins, though finding them turned out to be harder than expected. However, during my search, I came across a ladybug trapped between some rocks. I couldn't resist the opportunity for an easy harvest, or so I thought. Let's just say I gave it my best shot, but it wasn't meant to be.
Oh, puppy, no, I'm not messing with you.
Moving on, I returned to tracking the water boatmen. Despite the struggle to locate them, I pushed forward and eventually managed to find a few.
Come on, there we go, buddy. I need one more. One more. There we go, the last one. Brilliant. Oh, you're getting air. Sorry. It's not me. It's the game. We need you.
Gathering enough fins to craft a pair of fin flops. Geared up with my speedy kickers, I set off to explore the depths of the pond in search of sunken bones. The problem was, it was pitch dark down there, and my limited oxygen made things even more intense. It took several attempts and a few close calls before I finally found what I was looking for.
Come on, come on, come on. Yes, 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 I'm going as fast as I can. 10, 9, 8, I'm going. Woo! That was crazy.
The good news, I got the bones. The bad news, I overstayed my welcome underwater and paid the price for it.
Alright, that's all I can do for now, man. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. This ain't looking good. I need those bubbles. Those bubbles are what gonna save me. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wrecked.
Alrighty, to deal with the lighting issue, I headed back into the mite tunnels to grab those strange glowing sticks and get my hands on the slime lantern. On my way back to base, I got a little discombobulated and ended up in a scuffle with a few larvae. Thankfully, I managed to kick their butts and make it out just fine.
Oh, how did you get me? Come here, punk. Darn it, you punk. You got me. Now you ran away. Where did I end up? I have no idea where I'm supposed to be.
Once I reached the field station, I analyzed the new materials and collected some clay from a nearby deposit. Afterwards, I added another floor to the base and built a spinning wheel to start weaving silk rope. Done with the prep work, I zipped down into the depths of the pond to harvest more sunken bones and koi scales before running out of air once again.
5 seconds. 3, 2. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. No. Oh.
Fully equipped and ready, I returned to the pond and made my way toward the next lab. Using the biometric scanner, I gained access to one of the buildings and went around collecting most of the important items. I also noticed a control unit in the room. I tried to power it on, but it seemed a few switches still needed to be activated. Continuing my exploration, I ran into another robot. This one was shockingly different, but I managed to take it down just like the others. I then searched the area for switches. The first one was tricky to locate, but I found it eventually, flipping it on and uncovering a new scabby and some useful items from a nearby corpse. The other two switches were much easier to spot once I knew what to look for, and I got them turned on pretty quickly. Activating the switches unlocked a door to a new area of the lab. Still, there was plenty of exploring left to do, from navigating spider-infested tunnels to mashing keys at another computer and dishing out some hot sauce to a couple of angry robots.
Hey, we got you guys. Nice.
Finally, I reached the biodome area, collecting as many mussel sprouts as I could, then tracked down the next super chip and duper disk, and finished off by rebooting the biodome. There was one more thing I wanted to check out, but it was in a spider-infested underwater cave. I hoped I could just swim through quickly to grab a certain key, which I kind of did. But then, the craziest thing happened. I lost my light source, and with it, all hope, and those spiders ended up whooping my butt.
Holy smokes. Great stuff. Hey.
Fortunately, I was able to recover my bag.
Okay, let's go. Alright. Easy. We found our way out, maybe. I think so. Oh, where is this going? Somewhere else. Oh no, it is the way out. Oh, Sandbox. We made it out.
And get the chest opened, finding a mega milk molder and a sunken outpost chip. Okie dokie, it was time to visit BURG.L again. I handed over both chips. One unlocked new items in the shop, and the other triggered a few of BURG.L's memories. He mentioned something about an embiggening cell and said he had a spare one, but there was a catch. It was empty. Later that day, on my way back to base, I spotted a ladybug nearby and decided to take it on. Thankfully, I had a solid strategy to minimize damage, and before long, I knocked it out.
Boom, son. There we go. First, a ladybug. Done, son.
On top of that, I experienced another flashback. It seems a couple of mad scientists had been experimenting on me, with plans to replicate the experiments on others. The next few days were all about upgrading my gear, which meant facing some tough opponents. To kick things off, I had to deal with those ladybugs to level up my armor.
Boom! There we go.
Next, I returned to the hedge area to farm berries for leather and went after the bombardier beetles. Those critters proved to be formidable foes, making the fight quite challenging.
Not good. Oh man, I can only do one more. Come on. There we go.
Back at base, I crafted the ladybug faceplate and chest plate, but I ran out of materials for the shin guards. Before heading out again, I leveled up my new gear to give myself an extra edge in combat. With my upgrades prepped, I returned to farming more critters, from ladybugs to mosquitoes in the swamp.
Hey, there we go.
And collected even more berries along the way. Luck was on my side during the second round of bombardier farming. A little help from the friendly neighborhood bug made the job much easier.
I'll help you out, buddy. Hey, there we go.
With my haul of materials, I returned to base and crafted the rest of the gear I needed. Of course, a few pieces were still missing. Bright and early the next day, I went out again to take on some stink bugs. They were tricky at first because of the gas they excreted, but I managed to take one down and crafted the gas mask. For our second meeting, these buggers stood no chance. I made them pay for all their sins and finally completed my upgrades with a shiny new insect hammer. Well, there was just one more thing I needed before moving forward, the bone dagger. For that, I had to dive back into the pond to harvest diving bell spiders.
Hey, buddy. Hey, wait. I need that.
And a few sunken bones. While I was at it, I took the chance to grab more mussel sprouts as they came in handy for crafting better smoothies. On my way back to base, I stopped by BURG.L's lab to collect the mega milk molar and noticed a normal milk molar tucked under a nearby can. With those molars, I increased my arrow stack size and boosted my maximum stamina. Okay, make that 2 more things before moving on. One of the items I needed was fungal growth, which meant taking down infected creatures. They were tough opponents, but I had my ways of dealing with them. The next part was even crazier. I had to head deep into the ant caves to collect a few eggs.
Anybody with some ant? Hey, yo. Oh, mate, this is not good.
What I didn't expect was for the ants to get aggressive. Oh boy, that changed everything. For a moment, I was sure I wouldn't make it out alive.
I'm just going crazier. Oh, broskies, they definitely gonna take me out here, man. I'm not doing this again. Oh my goodness.
But by some miraculous feat, I managed to pull it off and sprinted back to base. Later that day, I wrapped up my preparations by crafting the Brat Burst. On day 26, I made my way to the Haze lab. To get inside, I used the Brat Burst to open the sealed doors.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness, we made it.
Once inside, I took care of a few robots standing in my way.
Come on, buddy. No, you missed. One more. Good night, Taser T.
Then entered a room filled with exploding mushrooms that I had to carefully navigate through.
Ah, you punk. Oh, jeez, I didn't see that.
Eventually, I gained access to the control room and flipped a switch that opened another section of the lab.
Just unlocked something. Anything else? Oh, yes, thank you.
Exploring deeper, I reached the newly opened area, and behind the door waited my first boss fight.
Not entirely sure what I'm gonna do, but it's time to tango with a fandango. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, things got messy fast. I had no idea how to handle this monster, so I just ran around in circles, hoping to survive. At some point, I realized running wasn't going to win the fight, so I threw in a few quick jabs before sprinting for cover. I even tried using my bow and arrows, but let's just say that didn't go as planned.
Run, Kamz. Trying to figure out a way here. No, that doesn't work.
So I stuck to my original strategy. Jab, run, repeat. Surprisingly, it worked, and I managed to take down the infected ladybug along with a swarm of nasty little critters.
Sayonara, Bobby! Let's go, let's go!
With the fight over, I gained access to the final room, where I recovered the third duper disc and the Haze Labs super chip. The next day, I returned to BURG.L and handed over the Haze super chip. He spoke more about the beginning cocktail and mentioned something about the Java-matic. On the brighter side, the next upgrade for the duper machine was installed, and I purchased a few new items from the ASL shop. That night, I had another strange vision. This one even more disturbing than before.
Too bad for you, little ones. Prepare the specimens for termination.
By day 28, I headed out to gather more berries from the hedge to repair my armor. I also decided to set up a jerky rack, since it was one of the better ways to produce leather. I then spent the next few days around the pond area, tracking down milk molars, raw science,
Sweet.
and a few mega milk molars. I also explored several hidden caves scattered around the pond and stumbled upon a few strange yet fascinating discoveries along the way.
Abomination totem. Detailing how to create a disgusting abomination. Ooh.
Once I had gathered everything I could, I returned to the Oak Lab to spend my molars on upgrades, increasing my max consumable stack and improving my hunger and thirst efficiency. It was finally time to begin construction on my main base. I had a few possible locations in mind: the juice box near the pond, the lily pads, or the oak tree. In the end, I decided to build at the oak tree.
The problem is we need to get stairs up there, so let's first work on that. Try and make our way up to the mushrooms here.
So I started laying down scaffolding, hoping it would be the best way to reach the top. By day 33, I finally made it to the giant mushrooms growing on the tree, and the view from up there was incredible. The good news, I could finally start laying out a blueprint for my base. The bad news, I hadn't exactly planned for how difficult it would be to haul the materials up there. So I had to expand the scaffolding to make transporting resources easier. After countless trips up and down, I finally managed to build ramps leading up to the upper level, giving me access to the materials and letting me continue the build.
Oh, yes. Brilliant. I love it. I love it.
With that sorted, I could focus on working on the base itself and experimented with a few design ideas I had in mind. So far, things were shaping up nicely.
Whee. Oh, that looks lovely.
So if I go
Into this mode here, switch to free cam. Yeah, all right. Let's check this out. Oi, 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 oi. It's looking good so far.
As time went on, the base design kept evolving and the demand for materials only grew. Still, I was just getting started and there was plenty more to build. By day 40, I had nearly completed the first level of the base. I wanted to keep going, but it was time to take a short break and start preparing for the next lab. With the base work on pause, it was time to take on the next big task, heading toward the sandbox. My main goal was to track down some roly-polies. I started off using arrows, hoping to chip away at their health, but that plan quickly went nowhere.
Let's see. Only got 35. Whee! This is not gonna do well.
So I switched to the next best option, smashing the beast with my trusty ant club. And let's just say that was the way to go.
Let's go! Oh, come on. Almost there, Kamz. Oh, what? There we go. Roly-poly. Down she goes.
The following morning, I continued scouting around the sandbox and spotted another roly-poly not far from the first one. This time, I took it down with ease.
Okay, we got you. One more. Ah, I thought I blocked it. Boom, son.
While exploring further, I stumbled upon what looks like a strange underground tunnel. But without enough supplies or food, I decided to save that adventure for another day and return to base to resupply.
Oh, molar. I'll take that, of course. Yes, we found a molar.
On day 43, I set out toward the picnic table. To get there, I had to blast through some rocks with a brat burst, which caused the spade above to topple over.
Whee, let's get out of there, Kamz. Whee, there we go. Nice. Great stuff, yo.
Climbing higher, I got into a scuffle with a few bees.
Come on, buddy. You're a pain in my butt. I didn't want to fight you.
And stumbled upon a strange maze where even more of them waited.
Get wrecked. Punk.
After clearing them out, I reached the end of the maze and found a chest that needed a key.
I need a key. Someone told me about keys.
Naturally, I went searching for it and discovered the key inside a pipe hidden behind some soggy roots. Returning to the chest, I was surprised to find a stash of juicy rewards, milk molars, another BURG.L chip, and a new scabby. While exploring, I spotted a gap in the wall near the grill and decided it would be a good idea to use some grass structures to build my way up. Continuing to build up the walls, I finally made my way safely to the upper yard.
Let's go. Alright, so we don't need this. We'll leave that here. Go and check out what's on the other side here.
Once there, I set out to hunt termites, needing their parts for the next upgrade.
Oh yes, let's go, buddy. Let me see if you give me chompers. Termite gunk. Termite parts. I'm assuming I have to take on bigger termites.
Of course, it wasn't going to be as easy as I expected. Turns out, I had to go after the soldier termites for their chompers.
Almost there, buddy. Hey, sweet. Great, chompers. We got 4 of them. Beautiful, mate. Beautiful.
Back at base with my haul of goodies, I went ahead to analyze the new materials and craft the new termite axe.
Great stuff. There we go.
With that done, I set off again to the sandbox to farm more roly-polies.
Yeah. Perfect block to get you wrecked. Wait, one more. Oh, I let that happen. After a quick stop at the base to restock on supplies, I set off once again for the upper yard to hunt down another type of roly-poly. I still needed their shells, and it turned out I had been farming the wrong kind all along. These ones were much tougher and hit harder. Almost there. We gotta be patient. Hey, let's go. Oh, no. No. Alright, that's good. You can do that. Hey, got you. Oh, almost down. Let's go. Boom, son, one more. Oh, too close. Boom. Hey, let's go, roller polies.
for the next ingredient and made my way beneath the shed, where I could harvest pupa for their hides. Lastly, I climbed up to the top of the shed and managed to track down the final material for my armor upgrade.
I don't want to fight any ants or anything. I think this is all we need for now.
Back at base, I started by scanning the new materials at the resource analyzer,
Salty arrows.
which we will need. Once that was done, I began processing the raw materials into usable items. And while waiting for everything to finish, I headed out to gather a few extra resources, feathers being one of them. As luck would have it, I managed to find one near a creepy spider.
Oi, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Wait.
Holy smokes, that was close.
Oh, it's moving the feather away. Why are you just staying around there? Alright, there we go. Only got 2? Oh, that's crazy.
While the materials were still processing, I took the opportunity to venture into the hedge. I checked on one of the usual feather spots, which thankfully had a fresh one waiting. I then stumbled upon an abandoned building where I managed to power up a surveyor station.
What does it do? Okay. Not entirely sure what I'm doing. But okay. So I found this while I was checking out stuff. Ah. Those things are on. Alright.
Still needing more feathers, I decided to put the duper machine to the test and was able to get a couple from it. Later, I returned to base to craft some of the roly-poly armor pieces and a few other items I had planned to use. Geared up and ready to go, I set off for the upper yard. This time, I was on the hunt for black ox beetles. And make no mistake, these creatures weren't to be taken lightly. The first one was a little too close for comfort, so I decided to go after another beetle I had spotted in the trench, hoping to use the high ground to my advantage. But it quickly became clear that plan wasn't going to work.
Is it finding the way on top or what? Where'd you go?
I then decided to get closer to the action, and as I peppered the beetle with arrows, it suddenly vanished into thin air, leaving me completely confused and empty-handed.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go, man?
So, I turned back to the first beetle, and you wouldn't believe it, the thing had somehow managed to get itself stuck in a rock. That gave me all the time in the world to finish it off without much hassle.
That's quite a lot of arrows. Please give my arrows back. Please! Oh, please! Yes! There we go.
With my supply of salt arrows running low, I headed back to the spork I had found earlier to farm the salt clusters around it.
Wait, let's go. That's all I need, actually. Just a couple of this to make more salt arrows.
While I was there, I took the chance to gather some clay before heading back home. Still short on feathers, I turned to the resource surveyor to help pinpoint their location. Unfortunately, most of the marked spots were in areas too dangerous to reach.
Oh, I can't go down there. You crazy? Oh, I see it. Are you guys crazy? You want me to go down there? Oh, I'll get wrecked.
But after a bit of persistence, I managed to find a safer spot where I could gather a few feathers without too much trouble. I then raced back to base to craft a fresh batch of salt arrows, restocked on smoothies, and set off for the upper yard once again.
Oh, leave me alone, please. Ooh-wee. Oh, no, 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 no. Please leave me alone. See ya.
On day 57, I found myself face to face with another black ox beetle, and once again tried to lure it into getting stuck between the rocks. Unfortunately, no matter what I did, this brute wasn't falling for the same trick. After a few minutes of back and forth, it simply vanished into thin air.
Can I use like high ground to get this guy? Where did he go? Where'd he go?
So, I turned my attention to the second beetle in the trench. After softening it up with a few arrows, I moved into position and unleashed a barrage of salty shots, finally bringing the mighty beast down.
Boom, son. Collect all my arrows. Thank you.
The problem was, those were the only 2 beetles in the area, which meant I had to wait a day or 2 for them to respawn. While waiting, I explored the surroundings, picked up a milk molar, and gathered some raw science.
Some raw science.
I also stopped by the shed to farm more pupa hide. The next day, I returned to the trenches to check for new spawns, and sure enough, another black ox beetle was waiting for me. I wasted no time and rained arrows down on it. This one, however, was clever. It kept finding ways to close the distance, forcing me to stay sharp.
I don't know what it's gonna do. Ooh, there we go. Oh my soul.
With some quick footwork and a bit of luck, I managed to take it down and claim my reward.
Come on, Kamz, you gotta get this. Whee! Alright, this is also good. Not a problemo. Oh no, come on. Oof, gotta be careful for that. Oh, it's good, it's good, it's good. It's stuck. Just gotta get it down as quick as possible because this one's causing me problems here. One more. Get wrecked, son. Get wrecked, you stinky little fella.
Back at base, I got straight to work crafting the cookery for better meals and the almighty Black Ox Hammer. Alrighty, it was time to tackle the next lab. After making my way down the Black Ant Hill, I soon reached an entrance to one of the buildings, though it was blocked by a massive rock. To get through, I had to use one of my trusty brat bursts.
Oh, please, please work. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
As I ventured further, a few tasties tried to stop me, but they didn't last long.
Oh, wow. Get out of here, mate.
I also cleared out several black ants that decided to get in my way.
Boom. Come on. There you go. Down you go, buddy.
Continuing my exploration, I came across a giant seal's door and had to blast it open with another brat burst.
We open this. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Holy smokes. Okay, so, of course, the brat burst. Show us your magic, buddy. They break? I hope we're ready, Kamz. I hope we are ready.
Oh boy, after mashing a few keys, I unleashed something far more worse than the infected ladybug. This was the assistant manager. This fight was absolute chaos. There were lasers flying everywhere.
Oh no. Oh no. I want to get these guys out first.
And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, the manager decided to crank things up a notch.
Oh, you. That's cheating. You're cheating. How am I supposed to get you?
Still, I held my ground. Well, barely. But I managed to take down the assistant manager and scored its keycard in the process.
Alright. Bend down. Oh, there we go. This is my chance. Come here. Come here, you punk. Let's go. Let's go. A couple more and you're done. Yeah, there we go. One more. Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. Assistant manager. Get wrecked, buddy.
Alright, key card. With the lab secure, I made my way to one of the control rooms and collected the next super chip.
Ooh, Black Ant super chip. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Back at BURG.L station, I handed over the chip and he revealed more about the embiggening cocktail, along with new details on how to find Dr. Tully. That night, I had another strange dream, one that shed light on the mysterious scientist I'd seen before.
Man, you're crazy. Well, thanks for helping us, man.
No one is even going to know.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Thanks. Truly appreciate that.
Oh yeah, now that I had access to the manager's keycard, I returned to BURG.L's lab to check out what was behind the locked door. Turns out, this is where I could get my hands on the zipper.
Oh, this is where you get it. The zipper. Wee, look at this. That's great. Thank you.
While wandering around, deciding what to do next, I suddenly got alerted to an attack. It seemed that the red ants no longer wanted me around. I then received another alert. This time, a raid on my treehouse base. I wasn't sure how those ants could get up there, but I raced back to check things out.
I'm so busy with the base, yo. Base defended. What? What happened there? I'm so clueless.
Anyways, after that little burst of excitement, I decided to shift gears and work on building a tower at the baseball to set up a zipline connecting both of my bases. By the next day, I had finished the 4-story tower and hooked up the zipline.
I need... Oh, I got enough. Brilliant. Hey, our first zipline done. Alright, it's time to use it. Hey, buddy. Look at this. Amazing.
After running a few tests, I realized the tower at the baseball wasn't tall enough for the zipline to transport materials to the oak base. So it was back to the drawing board to add a few more floors and build a higher tower. By day 65, I pretty much built as high as I could. Time was against me, and I couldn't afford to waste any more on this tower. On the other hand, I thought I needed more silk rope to complete the zipline. So I headed back to the trees at the hedge and farmed more spiderlings for their web fibers. While exploring the area, I noticed something unusual. Taking a closer look, I realized I had stumbled upon the broodmother's lair. But to get her attention, I'd need the broodmother's BLT. Okie dokie. I returned to the oak base the next day and got straight to work, setting up a few spinning wheels and processing the web fiber I had collected. I also placed down a few essentials for the base, some storage and a workbench.
Boom, son. Alright, let's go and get us some weed stems or some stems. Shortly, we will have this base up and running.
By day 67, I had finally set up the zipline properly and was able to send over the weed stems I'd collected from the baseball base. Of course, I still needed more weed stems, so I rounded up everything I could and shipped them straight to the oak tree. Back at the new base, I continued building, mapping out the structure with blueprints to see how everything would look, then gathering the materials I needed and filling in each section piece by piece.
Still tons of things to do. I'll just keep going, man. Till we can go no more, which is not anytime soon. Jeez, we got so many things to fill in. Look at that.
On day 70, progress was steady and the base was finally starting to take shape. I was happy with how things were coming together, but there was still plenty left to do. And honestly, after collecting so many weed stems, I figured it was time for a well-earned break. Alrighty, the following day, I made my way over to the picnic table, where I went ahead to set up the zipline and used it to reach the sandbox.
Let us heal up here and... well, get ready for the fight. Don't really know what they're weak against. So I'm not entirely... Probably fresh, because they're in this hot wasteland.
My goal was to gather a few antlion parts to craft a new set of armor. Thankfully, the first antlion didn't notice me and went down peacefully.
No, you didn't notice me. You still don't notice me. Did I get you? Yeah, I did. Very cool.
The others, however, put up quite a fight, but eventually met the same fate as the first.
There you go. Nighty night.
While exploring, I stumbled upon an outpost in the middle of the sandbox. There, I found more valuable items and clues leading to a hidden chest and its key. So, I made my way to the shovel the next day, roughly around the time I was supposed to.
See if I can make it up here. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, Kamz. Okay, cool, cool, cool. If we can make it up to that spot, will be good. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Of course, I was rudely interrupted by another antlion, but it was quickly dealt with.
I can't see your health, buddy. Ah, there you go.
15,
We need 6 and a couple more. Alright, so...
Around 1525, I went ahead to check at the head of the shovel, and as expected, I spotted the next clue and dug up the key to the lost treasure. Later that evening, I headed to the back of the sand castle and located the treasure chest. Inside, I found the recipe for a particularly deadly weapon.
Right. Nice, nice, nice. This is waterlogged recipe, note detailing a particularly deadly weapon.
From there, I zipped over to the hedge to farm bombardier beetles, then returned to the sandbox for a few more antlion parts. Along the way, I also came across another corpse with some interesting items. To cap off the day, I ventured up to the upper yard to collect ladybird larvae parts. In an attempt to prep myself for the next lab, I set course for the upper yard once again to farm more ladybug larvae parts.
I'm hoping this is the last one, because I don't have anything after this. Ah, yes, there we go. Finally.
While I was at it, I tried my luck collecting Everchar coal chunks. Boy, was this difficult.
These... Oh, no, 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 no. Hold up, hold up. Whew. That's so good, Kamz.
But I kept at it and eventually managed to grab the 4 I needed.
Oof. This is crazy. Just to get this? Holy smokes. Right. There we go. All or nothing. There you go. Just the one. 4 chunks. So we need it for the oven. We just make sure we get everything we need. 4 chunks. We need boiling gland. That we can get easy.
The thing was, I still needed boiling glands to craft the oven. So I set out once again in search of bombardier beetles.
Good night, fella. Oh, no way.
There was just one problem. No matter how many beetles I took down, they weren't dropping any glands. While I waited for the bombardier beetles to respawn, I decided to focus on my base a bit more, farming a whole bunch of resources from clover leaves to a bucket load of sap and even more weed stems. I also took some time to experiment with a few ideas for the roof of my base.
So if we here, we just need stems. Awesome. Check how this looks, buddy. Wee, buddy. Look at that.
By day 77, the base was mostly finished. There was still a few tweaks I wanted to make. For now, it felt complete, and I thought it looked amazing. But of course, I had to get back to farming those bombardier beetles. The first one didn't drop anything useful.
Well done. Oh, man. How am I going to get anything? I need those other parts, man.
The second and third finally delivered the boiling glands I needed.
Wee, good night. Oh, there we go. Finally, 1 gland. Let's go. Oi, 2 parts for glands.
On my way back, I stopped at BURG.L's lab to drop off the chips I'd found at the Sandbox. This unlocked advanced smithing, which I immediately purchased. Back at base, I got to work crafting mint gloves and then whipped up the mint mace. Later that day, I set off to gather a few critters to help prepare meals for my journey toward the next lab. Okie dokie. Making my way to the upper yard, I had to track down Wendell's scabby, which was sitting near his favorite chair by the shed. Climbing up to the top of the chair, I had to carefully navigate toward the giant scabby. There, I had to smash open one of the covers, replace a fuse, and activate the scabby itself.
Activate the scab.
Within seconds, the biometric data transferred, and I had access to the next lab. But before heading anywhere, I decided to explore a bit and stumbled upon some new materials nearby. Sour lumps and, of all things, human toenails. Once done, I made my way to the lab under the shed and used the biometric scanner to unlock it. Inside, I found plenty of useful loot and research items. As I explored deeper, I had to navigate a maze of pipes, tricky parkour jumps, but thankfully my tufts came in handy, and then deal with more annoying little screamers creeps that got in my way.
Punk. Get out of here.
Eventually, I reached the main lab chamber. Opening one of the doors unleashed a swarm of enemy creatures that caught me completely off guard and nearly wiped me out.
Wait. I need to heal. Jeez. I wasn't expecting that.
Luckily, I managed to retreat, then healed up and got back in to finish them off one by one. That's when I gained access to the next control room. I flipped the switch and unleashed my next challenge, the Mant.
It's time for us to take on this beast here. Where is it? Oh. Wish me good luck, everybody. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. And it's time to go.
Man, this brute packed a punch. It was dealing insane damage, but luckily I could block most of its hits and keep my health in check.
Woo-wee. Let's go, Mance. What? Let's go, you punk. Oh, wait. Oh. But what is he doing?
The fight was intense, keeping me on edge the entire time.
Let's just keep moving. See what he's up to here. Oh, butttt. Let's go. Oh, that was a bit too slow for me. Ooh, got me on that one. What? What the actual freak was that? Ooh-wee. That is it. What? Oh, come on. That's unfair.
But I stayed focused and eventually brought the monster down.
Oh, come on, you guys. So close. Oh, you're down, son. You're down. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Let's go, Mance. Mutation. Holy smokes. Now, that was a battle.
Afterwards, I freed Dr. Tully, collected the next vital ingredient, grilled science, and had a quick chat with Wendell once more. He mentioned that our next stop would be the Java-matic. With the next objective set, I made my way toward the Java-matic. Upon reaching the machine, I tried climbing to the top to get a better view, but that turned out to be a bad idea, since I didn't have any toughs with me. Getting back down safely was quite an adventure.
Oof. Yeah, lost a whole lot of health.
Eventually, I made it to the base of the machine, only to realize I needed an explosive to get through. Luckily, I remembered spotting a splat burst back at the lab. With the explosive in hand, I blasted open the entrance.
There we go. Sorry, buddy. But I had to do that in order to get through here. Alright, here we go. Alrighty. Alright.
Of course, it didn't end there. I still needed additional materials to get it fully operational. While I was in the area, I took the opportunity to gather a ton of mushroom chunks nearby to stock up on supplies. I then started working on a few new crafting stations, venturing out to gather resources from red ants. During the hunt, I came across some strange new creatures with odd-looking devices attached to their heads.
Orc Weaver. Orc Receiver. What?
Back at base, I finally got the grinder up and running. I began processing the mushroom chunks.
Alright. Mushroom slurry times 6.
And turning those slurries into solid mushroom bricks. The next day, I decided to build a new zipline that would lead directly to the Java-matic. The problem was, I had no space for it, so I had to construct a new platform to support the new setup. Of course, that meant gathering a ridiculous amount of resources, and to make things worse, those orc creatures were everywhere, constantly getting in my way. I had to clear them out first before I could get back to work. Despite the chaos, I managed to push through and continued expanding the base. On day 86, I made a quick trip to my old base to gather the ingredients needed for the embiggening cocktail. I then set off toward Wendell's ashtray to collect the remaining toenails required.
5 toenails is all we need. Get the extras. Just in case. Thank you so much.
Afterwards, I returned to the Java-matic to load in the ingredients and begin brewing the embiggening cocktail.
There we go. Everything you need. Deposit. Use the Java-matic to brew the embiggening cocktail. Let's turn this on. Activate. Alrighty. There we go, my friends. Insufficient power. What? Oh, these orcs.
However, there was a slight problem. Those orc critters were messing with the modules. I had to take them out
Hey, what are you up to? Come here.
and repair all 3 mixer units. After checking in with Dr. Tully, he warned that the fusion process would be loud and attract even more orc creatures. To help, Dr. Tully unlocked another lab containing supplies I could use to build defensive structures. So, with the fusion process coming up, I figured it was time to start preparing. I went ahead to gather more mushroom chunks that had spawned nearby. Then I took the zipline back to base and got to work, grinding the chunks into slurries and baking them into fresh mushroom bricks. Now that I had the zipline set up, I made full use of it, farming even more mushroom chunks to stock up for the defense mission. Back at base, I had a few more things to take care of, mainly setting up new structures and finishing off some parts of the builds. And of course, that meant gathering even more resources. Yeah, story of my life. Still, I had to keep pushing forward and get the base finished before the deadline. While I was at it, I spotted some upgrade materials under the oak tree. The only problem was that 2 gigantic spiders were guarding the area.
Oi, this is crazy. But I'll take the chance. We need these. Woo-wee. Uh-oh. I woke one up. Oh. Uh-oh. Not good. Not good. Let's run away. Oh, Kamz, what did you do? Not good. Woo-wee.
By day 90, I went ahead to craft the Salt Morningstar and wrapped up the next phase of base construction. There was still a bit of work left to do, but that could wait for another time. For now, my focus was on diving into the underground tunnels in search of more upgrade materials.
Oh, there we go. Brittle quartzite.
Luckily, I managed to find a few milk molars and some raw science along the way. Back at base the following day, I upgraded the mint mace to level 7 before heading into another underground system in search of even more upgrade material. With my last mission quickly approaching, I shifted my focus to smoothie production. I took a swim in the pond to gather algae and then made my way to the pond lab to grab some of those juicy mussel sprouts. While waiting for those mushroom bricks, I decided to spend some time at the base and add a few finishing touches. First, I tackled the roof. Next, I added more scaffolding to expand the other platform, making the layout more symmetrical. Finally, by day 95, the base was complete. It looked incredible. I was really happy with how everything turned out. The next few days were all about setting up defenses around the mixer modules. I started by building sturdy mushroom walls around each one to form a solid barrier. I then reinforced them with a second layer of walls and added feathered roofs to guard against aerial attacks. To finish things off, I crafted a few Ayyoooo turrets and placed extra walls across the battlefield for added defense. Alrighty, with that sorted out, it was day 100 and time to take on that defense mission.
Ready for the action. Okay, never mind. It's gonna take us some time to get there. Oops.
After a not so grand entrance, I made my way to the battlefield and immediately spotted a couple of fire ants attacking my first wall of defense. Thankfully, they were easy to deal with. Then came the fireflies. Luckily, those random walls I added earlier kept them distracted, giving me the perfect chance to take them out with the Ayyoooo turret. But things quickly spiraled out of control. The critters broke through one of the entrances, while others attacked from different angles. I was starting to lose control of the situation. To make matters worse, larger and tougher bugs began closing in, tearing through my defenses. I was taking heavy damage and had no choice but to retreat.
Oh! I need to get out of here. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I'm in a lot of doo-doo. Holy smokes.
By this point, the entire area had descended into chaos. Bugs were attacking from every direction, and I was desperately trying to protect the mixer modules.
Come on.
Woo! The larger bugs were far too strong, and it felt like the end. All I could do was hope that the Java-matic would complete the process in time. And by sheer luck, it did.
Aye, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Holy smokes, that was crazy. My setup was so bad. So bad. Super slow, I was.
With that awesome news, I grabbed the embiggening cell.
Sweet.
And made my way to the spacer. There, I met Dr. Tully, who asked if I was ready to go home.
Yes, Wendell, I am ready to go home. Thank you so much for this awesome ride. Oh yeah. For science, my friend. Which is it? Is it activate? Yeah, there we go. I'm pushing the switch. There we go. So long, my friend. It's been good in this yard. Truly appreciate it. But now, it's time for me to go back home. See ya!